I mentioned last week that as you use your concordance in your studies, you'll find instances where it will show an insignificant difference between the English and the original language. And the opposite will also be true. You'll find instances where there is a significant difference between the English and one of the original languages. One good example out of many of this is found in Exodus 12:35. It says, "And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses, and they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment." The English word borrowed is translated from the Hebrew word sha'el, which literally means to inquire. By extension, it means to demand. Figuratively, it means to collect back wages. And this figurative meaning is the one that you'll find most commentators use in commenting about this scripture. Now, to incorrectly teach the English translation that the Israelites only borrowed from the Egyptians would lead to the logical conclusion that eventually they had to pay back what they had borrowed. Now, this is a heretical and profane teaching that is not supported one bit by the original manuscripts. The Egyptians had made the people of Israel to serve with rigor, and when they were about to leave the country forever, Moses told them to claim the jewels as a just, though inadequate, compensation for services which had made their lives bitter. Exodus 1:14 says, "And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field." Now, please understand, don't misunderstand me when I say that you use your concordance. I do not mean that you must use that concordance to determine the definition of every word of Scripture you study. There are scriptures like John 3:16, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son," and so on, that the difference in meaning is insignificant. In other words, you could read the original languages of that text and come to the same conclusion. And the more you use your concordance, the more easily you'll be able to determine which of those words you should study, which of those words you should find the original definition for. You need to do that in order to rightly divide the Scripture, to accurately understand the meaning of the Scripture so you can correctly teach it to your students. Teaching the inspired Scriptures requires an effort of your will. And it is well worth the extra labors to know in your heart that you have been that workman that is approved of God.